More than 200 people came out here to Hornets Nest Park in Charlotte to honor Tammy McCollum on her birthday. She would have turned 59 years old. Family and friends hugged, shed tears, held red balloons, and listened to one of Tammy McCollum's favorite songs.
He knows my name.
Instead of planning Tammy's birthday, loved ones held a balloon release to remember the life of Tammy, who was shot and killed by her husband, Eddie McCollum, a teaching assistant at Southwest Middle School in Charlotte.
A world of emotions, just mostly trying to hold it together for family and friends. But it's just going to be tough, a long road, probably for the rest of my life.
4 words. That's all Eddie McCollum said when police showed up at his door at 2 in the morning. We had an argument. His wife, a pastor, a woman described by everyone who knew her as full of light, was inside that house. Dead, shot. By the man she had publicly called her amazing man of God just 4 years ago. 30 years of marriage, ended with a single trigger pull. And the detail that makes this case even harder to process, one piece of information that Eddie's own daughter revealed, is something nobody in that community saw coming. We'll get to it. Stay with me. Quick favor, hit subscribe and drop a like before we go further. If this one hits you, share it. All right, let's get into it. Tammy McCollum was 58 years old. She was a minister at the Well Worship Center in Statesville, North Carolina, and she also worked at the Ulta Beauty counter at the Bellgate Shopping Center in Charlotte. 2 jobs, 2 communities, and by every account she showed up fully for both. A coworker named Van Appleton said it plainly, one of the most kind, vibrant, and caring people he had ever worked with. Her church family described her as full of light, someone who loved God, loved her family, and loved serving people. And there is one detail that is going to stay with you. A friend named Shy Brittany Evans posted a tribute after the news broke. She said she was supposed to do Tammy's makeup this weekend for her birthday. The birthday that was coming up. The birthday that never happened. That is who was taken inside that home on Cardington Court. In February 2022, Tammy McCollum posted something on her Facebook page that I need you to hear. It was their 30th wedding anniversary. And she wrote, 30 years, y'all. I am truly blessed and honored to have been married to this amazing man of God for 30 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 100 years together. I love this man with all that is within me. Eddie McCollum, I love you, baby love. She called him her amazing man of God. She said she was looking forward to 100 more years. That post is still out there, and the man she wrote it about has now been charged with her murder. Let that sit. But here is the part that the daughter said, and it is the thing that breaks this case wide open. Davilyn McCollum is their daughter. When she spoke to WCNC after her mother's death, she didn't say what you might expect. She didn't say she always feared this day. She didn't describe a marriage full of visible cracks. She said, I feel like everybody is in such a state of confusion because my father loved my mother dearly. Their relationship wasn't arguments all day, every day over the small things. We're talking about people who have been together for 30 years of their lives. Confusion. That word hit me, because this is not the statement of a child who grew up watching violence in their home. This is someone who genuinely cannot reconcile what happened with the man she knew as her father. And that confusion is shared by an entire community, because from the outside, nothing about Eddie McCollum screamed danger. And that is exactly what makes this case chilling. Here is where the story starts to get more layered. Eddie McCollum, 61 years old, was a teaching assistant at Southwest Middle School in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg School District. That is where he worked. That is where he spent his days. But in the days leading up to April 6th, he wasn't there. He had been suspended from that job. The school's principal, Walter Clyburn, sent a message to families after the arrest confirming that a staff member had been suspended and that the situation was unrelated to the school. Think about what that means in real terms. A 61-year-old man, suspended from work, sitting at home, no routine, no structure, no place to be in the morning. Whatever was building inside that house, whatever pressure was accumulating, it was doing so in an environment where both of them were under the same roof with no outlet. He called 911 himself. And according to court documents, he admitted to shooting Tammy during the argument, first to dispatchers, then to detectives. He kept talking until he asked for a lawyer. Those admissions are now part of the official record. He has been charged with first-degree murder. He is being held in the Mecklenburg County Jail without bond. First-degree murder, not second-degree, not manslaughter. First-degree, which means prosecutors believe this was premeditated, which means they believe what happened at 2 a.m. was not just a moment of rage, and that changes everything about how we look at that argument. In North Carolina, first-degree murder requires premeditation and deliberation. It is not heat of the moment. It requires that the person formed the intent to kill before they pulled the trigger, even if only moments before. So when Eddie McCollum says, "We had an argument," prosecutors are not buying that this was a spontaneous explosion. They believe the decision to pick up that gun and fire was a choice, a thought through choice. Whether that premeditation happened over weeks or over seconds, the charge carries the same weight. If convicted, he is looking at life in prison. No parole for first-degree murder in North Carolina. The Well Worship Center in Statesville released a statement asking for prayer. The church community is grieving a pastor who showed up for them faithfully. Her Ulta co-workers are grieving a woman who made the beauty counter feel like a welcoming place. And her daughter is somewhere trying to understand how the man she believed loved her mother is now sitting in a jail cell charged with ending her life. He called 911 himself. He admitted it on the call and again to detectives. Some people say that means remorse. Others say that is just the act of someone who knew they had no way out. What do you think? Does calling 911 yourself after something like this mean anything? Tell me below. If you've been locked in from the start, you know what to do, like subscribe and share this one. The next story on this channel is just as heavy. Don't miss it.